I do want to try to get right to it. This evening has, over the years, changed, and there are probably some parents that are in this room today and some students as well who remember when KMS was just a winter term school about 7 or 8 years ago. And this was the end of our school year. And so this night, the purpose of this night was to accomplish a number of different things. It was to recognize outstanding academic accomplishments and achievement. It was to recognize outstanding athletic accomplishments and achievement. There were some dorm and residential awards and some other sort of school spirit awards. But the primary purpose of the evening was to say goodbye to our seniors, our senior class, because it was the last time that they would all be together. Well, now that we've gone full term and we're pretty well established, we are all told between our full term, winter term, 3-month, and our 1-month students, we're about 125 kids at KMS. And 8 years ago, when we used to do this in a different format, we were about half that size. But most of our seniors now are full-term students, and we have 2 that are winter-term students. And so what we started doing a couple of years ago is we save our senior recognitions for our full-term students to our graduation in June. We do all the awards that we traditionally do, and we recognize the handful of departing seniors who are still just winter-term students. So as a result, this evening has gone from an event that was used to be 2.5 hours long, and now it's like 1 hour and 59 minutes or 2 hours and 29 minutes. But I know that you didn't exactly come here just to hear me speak, and I'd like to try to get to the business at hand, but I do have just a couple of announcements. One, I want to welcome everyone and thank everyone for coming this evening, and also to thank our parents for giving us the opportunity to work with your children. This evening is always sort of a bittersweet demarcation point. The winter goes by so fast, it's like a blur. It feels like it was 6 years ago that we kind of assembled here in November, brought our winter term students on board, did our snow chant, executed an amazing World Cup, rolled off to selections and camps and stuff in December. And boy, the winter goes by so fast, but we do so much here in one season that it feels like so much time has passed. And we're tired, the coaches, the teachers, the students, but nobody wants to see the children leave. And we know that our full-term students will be coming back in a couple of weeks, and we'll see our winter-term students here and there throughout the spring and again at summer camps. But the purpose of the school is to exist with students in its walls, and we love working with your kids. We really do. They're a great bunch, and I have a tremendous amount of respect for all of our students at school, everyone from our 6th grade 1-month students to our 2nd and 3rd year postgraduates. But we're really blessed, and we've got an amazing group of kids and an amazing faculty, and it really feels a lot of times more like a family than it does a school. And we talk a lot about family, and we talk about it in relation to team, and what is a team. And the students should recognize, and the faculty should recognize, that we started the beginning of this year with our theme for the year was really about team and about teamwork. And how we break down barriers that exist within groups, how we break down barriers that exist within the school itself, and how we work together as a unit to make the school year a success. The results of any one individual are not possible without everyone pulling on the oars together. And we're not perfect. There's times, there's ups and downs along the way. Everyone would probably recognize that. But I truly believe that the accomplishments of our school would not be possible if we didn't have a great team of people working together. And that's not only our theme this year, it's a constant theme here at KMS. When you have a dysfunctional team, little squabbles or emotional responses or fights or, they get in the way. They suck so much energy away from what we're trying to do. And the fact that the kids' results this year have been probably the best that I've seen in my 17 years here means that we're on the way to accomplishing that goal of having a better team and a really tight family. I did a little bit of research before this evening because I knew intuitively that the results this year were really exceptional, but I wanted to try to find some way to quantify that. So I reached out to the coaches and asked them just to give me lists of the kids and the teams and how many of our students made it to a national championship, a junior national championship, or a junior worlds or international level of competition. So, there were some amazing results this year where we had kids win on the Rev Tour. We had an overall Rev Tour champion. A lot of those amazing series results. Norium wins, all sorts of stuff that were pretty incredible. But I was really looking for who made it to these high-level championship events. And this is what we came up with. So remember, I said there's about 125 students at KMS, and about a dozen of those are really just here for 1 month. So our 3, our 5, and our 9-month students make up, about 112, 115 kids total. And out of that group, we had 57 students make it to nationals or junior nationals. Not just like an Eastern Championship, but a nationals or junior nationals championship. We had 8 students qualify to compete at the junior worlds level, and 4 on the World Cup. And that's pretty amazing. And that goes back to my point about a team and what you can accomplish when everyone's working together. And we will continue to reinforce that as a theme. But I just want to take a moment to recognize those results. And it's not just the 57 kids plus 8 plus 4 that made it to that level. They couldn't have done it without everyone else in this room working in unison and supporting them and standing behind them and cheering them on, and just, way to go to the entire school, to all of us. That's really amazing. I was reading an article the other day about Canada geese. How many people here like Canada geese? Okay, not that many. But I like Canada geese because I don't own a golf course, where I guess they're a major pest. But because growing up in Vermont, Canada geese mark the changes of the season. People think the robin marks spring, but it's not. It's the Canada geese that marks spring. And last weekend, I was outside of my house and I heard my first Canada goose flying over our property. And I probably saw about 7 that day, but we're going to see more and more. And the Canada goose is telling us that the seasons have changed and spring is on its way. And so too in the fall, the Canada goose lets us know that winter is coming and it's time to prepare. And this article on the Canada geese was talking about how the Canada geese, they fly in formation in a V, right? And the interesting thing is that the only goose who's flapping their wings, who's really pulling, is the single goose at the front. But the second goose's line is just waiting to take his turn or her turn, and then the third goose, and so on and so forth. So the only way those geese get back and forth every year and fly thousands of miles is by working as a team. I just thought that was kind of a neat analogy. So if you don't have appreciation for Canada geese, maybe it's just rude. I don't know. I think that's all I have.